Welcome to Wild, Women in Lending Determined to Make an Impact. I'm your host, Robin Lavasser. They say our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. It's being powerful beyond measure. In this podcast, I will share how to break through imaginary ceilings, lean into success, discovering your purpose, and understanding how to create the business and life of your dreams. From failures to triumphs and all the tactics in between, let's jump into the wild arena together.
Welcome back to Wild, where we are talking about real stuff in marriage, in kids, in business, in sales. And I'm excited for today's episode because we are going to have a conversation about the kind of things that happen after the meetings are over. The kids are in bed. The only thing that's left in the day is you potentially and your thoughts. And so we're going to dive into something that hits super close to home for me. And I'm guessing it probably hits close to home for you as well. It's about protecting your mental and emotional peace. A mom, a wife, a friend, a leader, and yes, a lender. Those roles don't come with off buttons. And sometimes your mental and emotional peace, if you will, can feel like it never, ever, ever gets to be in quiet, right? Gets to be settled, if you will. So I used to believe that peace meant balance, and I don't believe that anymore. I really believe in harmony, and I talk a lot about that. Like, are you harmonious with the decisions that you're making? Are you harmonious with where your life's sitting? Are you harmonious with how you feel about yourself, right? Really big deal. And so when you think about, okay, my schedule's all cleaned up, my inbox is empty, the house is quiet, the to-do list is complete, does that moment ever actually exist? And the answer is no. There's always stuff in my inbox. There's always a few more projects that I need to get done. There's always things that I'm longing to do or to have a conversation about with my children and with my husband and with my friends. And just this morning, I was literally making a list in my head. I should do a Friendsgiving or something around Christmas with all of my girlfriends. We should do a neighborhood progressive dinner. All these crazy thoughts are popping into my head. I should start planning what to buy the grandkids for Christmas, and I need to send a text out to the whole family to get a list. Then for work, I have about 10 different projects I need to work on as far as brokered loans and bond loans and some different things within the branch. We need to start planning our year-end sessions. Like, the answer is it doesn't ever technically turn off, and it's never all done, because that's not life. Life doesn't all of a sudden go, oh, your list is done for the day, you can stop now, and we turn off, right? It's not an Alexa that we say, Alexa stop or Alexa off. When you say that, it stops or it's off, right? It's done until someone turns it back on. Not for us. It's always on. And so when you think about that, when that moment's never going to be there, how do you handle that emotionally and mentally? I know for myself that I used to drive myself crazy trying to complete everything and not having harmonious deadlines, if you will, expectation setting, awareness of, one of the powerful things that I learned in coaching was just at the end of the day saying, I did my best and my best was good enough. I did my best. What I love about that is that it started to hold me accountable to say, did you do your best? Because if you did, and you confidently say, I did my best, I played the very best game I could have ever played. Maybe you threw as a quarterback for 600 yards, 5 touchdowns, and you ran and you never had an interception, and you guys still lost the game. The outcome of that game is not guaranteed, but your performance is one that you can control. And if you played your best game, the outcome really is you got better, right? Because you just had your personal best. And that's really something that I started working on every single day. So peace isn't something you find when life calms down. It's something you protect when life ramps up. Mentally, how am I going to tackle that I have so much to do? Well, I'm going to sit down and make a list. I'm going to prioritize it. I'm going to put things on the calendar. I'm going to delegate what I can. I'm going to cross off what doesn't serve me. I'm going to take care of the things that are weighing the heaviest on me first, because I am in the midst, I am in action of protecting my own peace. Super big deal. Super big deal. The moment when a client's texting you at 9 p.m., we've all had that as a loan officer, right? Your kids have something going on or want to talk. Your spouse is asking for either dinner or, can we get some alone time or whatever? And your brain is thinking, I can't do everything. You're not going to find peace with control. You're going to find peace with clarity. It's okay to not respond to a text at 9 p.m. It's okay to say, hey, I read the text And you could even say, if you wanted to, back to the client, hey, I just saw your text. I apologize. I'm in the middle of homework with my children and then have to get them to bed. Are you okay if we talk tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? Now, on the vice versa, if that's a panic text and it's a big deal, you might have to say to your children, hey, can we pause for a minute? I'm going to have to step away for 5 minutes, make a quick phone call, and then come back and finish this up. It's not the calm. It's not the lack of things to do. It's not quiet and stillness. It's not becoming it more of an introvert, and or we say the solution is connection. Isolation is the problem. It's not isolation that then will give you peace. That doesn't help, right? It's clarity about what's actually yours that you need to tackle. You might say, hey, I'm not the best person to help you with this homework assignment, but your big brother is, so I'm going to ask him to come in and help for a minute. That helps there. Oh, wait, I have clarity about what I should carry and what I shouldn't. This 9 p.m. text is actually for the realtor. Let me get you in touch with the realtor and take care of that. Hey, now this, I need to go take care of dinner, if you will, or I need to go take care of some alone time with my spouse. Those are things that I need to carry that I can't replace myself in. What I was guilty of for the longest time, and somebody said to me once, if you try to solve the world's problems, it will always let you. And what I found myself doing frequently was I was at the office till 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. I outworked my team, and I thought that I was proud of that. That was a weird mental thing that I had going on versus saying, hey, I'm going to work as hard as my team does. I'm going to work at another level, another intensity, if you will, but I'm going to shut it down. For the longest time, I had a team that never took lunches, that weren't leaving on time. And then I thought to myself, gosh, what a terrible example leader I'm being. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack, right? I'm showing them that this is all consuming, that there is no harmony, right? That it's yours to carry everything on your plate and you've got to get it done. And it needs you. And man, what a difference it made when I thought, that's not true. Somebody else could help with that. Somebody else is higher skilled than I am at this. You know what? I could ask somebody else to take care of that, all the way from sometimes making dinners and cleaning the house to maybe helping the kids with homework. Those could be things that technically are delegated if I'm not the one that's best suited for it. But man, especially as a woman, I feel like sometimes we just think it's all on me. I have to be the one. That makes me more valuable to other people if I can say yes to everything and find a way. It also can lead to a breakdown. It can lead to extreme burnout. It can lead to incredible resentment and frustration. It can lead to bitterness. It can lead to cynicism. It does a lot of things. And so very big deal. Clarity about what's actually yours to carry and what's not. Very big deal. Somewhere along the way, I started to believe that boundaries meant we're saying no. But really, boundaries, instead, I reframed to saying yes to peace and or alignment, to harmony. So my no's were because I needed to say yes somewhere else. And I talk about that a lot. And so when you villainize boundaries as I'm just a hard no on things and I'm no longer willing to do this, and you get a little hardened, if you will, maybe less warm about things, that's not what a boundary is. It's okay to say, hey, instead, a boundary here allows me to have no boundary over here. And that's a beautiful thing, right? That's an alignment. That's harmonious with what I want my life to look like. Very big deal. Yes to being present. Yes to being present. A boundary might say yes to being present, meaning I can do this. A boundary is simply not looking at your phone while you're in a meeting, setting it down and putting it out of the way and turning the ringer off so that you can be present. That's not saying I don't want to take care of everything that's going on my phone. It says right now I have a boundary set so that I can be present. How hard is it to try to have a meeting and be present with your phone and all the things going on there? You can't be in two places at once. I've tried it countless times. It's not possible, and especially not done well. So yes to being present. Yes to being your best self instead of your burnt out self or your partial self. I'm really guilty of this. Sometimes people get a piece of me, not the best of me. And then I don't feel good about it. And I can't walk out the door at night and say, I did my best and my best was good enough. And that's hard, right? We don't end up in alignment or harmonious with ourselves, confident. When I decided to stop taking on other people's urgency, other people's problems and making them my own, everything shifted for me. Everything shifted. And if you're in lending, you know exactly what I mean, because people will bring you a lot of problems, a lot of urgency, a lot of panic. And it's very easy to just join in, right? Have you ever seen those rubberneckers on the highway where all of a sudden everyone's slamming on their brakes and you realize that like you kind of have to join in, but you're like, what's everybody doing? Why is that happening? One person started it, a lot of other people followed, right? And it can kind of get out of hand really quickly with people slamming on their brakes, and then accidents are happening. And really it was a car on the other side of the road being pulled over by a police officer. What a crazy thing to slam on your brakes in the middle of a highway for. But yet it happens, and all of a sudden you are allowing what somebody else is doing to take over and impact what you're trying to do or where you're trying to go. Right? Where you're trying to go. And so when you think about someone else's stress about rates, you have two choices: lock in or float. You being stressed about it means you should probably lock in, because the only rate that's guaranteed is the one that we lock in right now. But you can't say they didn't lock in, now I'm stressed for them about interest rates and the market moving. That's not protecting your peace, right? That's not having clarity. That's not being in alignment. That's not feeling harmonious. And so it's so easy to absorb other people's panics, right? Other people's problems, other people's choices, and then try to give them a better outcome, right? Really big deal there. Peace is remembering that their emergency, their stress doesn't have to become your energy. Energy is so transferable, my friend, and you almost need this invisible shield in front of yourself to say, you know what? I'm going to empathize. I'm going to listen. I'm going to help, but I'm not going to allow it to become my energy. I'm not going to allow it. Have you ever been around somebody that's just high strung, stressed all the time, and you feel more stressed when you're around them? That's not protecting your own peace, protecting your own energy. As a mom, it might look like saying things like, you can be upset, I can still stay calm, right? So I used to get upset if my kids were upset, if they were mad, if they were frustrated. I would get all worked up in that process. You don't have to get worked up with them. You can just listen and stay calm. And that doesn't mean you don't care about what's going on. It just means, hey, I'm not going to let that energy transfer into my peace. So few things that you could do. One, is it mine to fix? Is this mine to fix? Does this matter tomorrow? Can it technically wait? That's an urgency and a stress test that you can ask yourself. Is it mine to fix? Does this matter tomorrow? Can it wait? Let me go to another one. Daily reset, 15 minutes with no noise, no notifications. Maybe you, a journal. For me, it's ZipFizz over coffee. I know this morning I get on a Bible app that I absolutely love, and it goes through a quick lesson and it gives me just one scripture, and then literally it does a prayer. I love it. This morning I read it out loud with my husband in the room. I did a workout. We sat in the sauna quiet for 15 minutes, sweating with nothing. I didn't bring my phone, right? We sat there just in silence. For me, music gives me peace, right? I can listen to 3, 4, 5 songs, the same 5 songs technically every day of my life, basically, and literally find a renewed sense of peace because it helps me reset. So 15 minutes with, whether it's no noise, silence drives me a little more crazy than noise. So I prefer music, but no notifications, anything like that. Hey, that's when I remind myself, my peace sets the tone for my day, not my phone, not my email, not the reactions of other people, my peace. So did I put anything in the tank that's giving me peace right now? Did I make a deposit so that then it's full, right? My tank is full in the peace department. Very big deal. The grace filter. I love this. I love, love, love this. When I mess up, and I do multiple times, I do not spiral. I filter everything through grace. Now we know that grace, by definition, is giving something to somebody that they don't actually deserve and expecting nothing in return. Because peace isn't perfection, it's permission, right, to simply give grace. So when I mess something up, I'll say, what were my intentions? How would I learn from that? I grew a little bit today. I would say I learned, right? I grew some today. I learned something new. I learned something new about myself. I learned a lesson, but I put it through the grace filter. Because for the longest time, we say things like, I'm an idiot. Oh my gosh, how could I have made that mistake? I'm awful. I don't deserve to do this work. I'm a bad mom. I'm a bad wife. I'm a total, right? Like I'm such a dodo bird. I'm so forgetful. We do these crazy things instead of, hey, I had every intention and I didn't make it and I'm sorry. Grace is a beautiful filter to give to yourself. It's also a beautiful gift to give to other people, but most importantly to yourself. Grace is a huge thing. So remember this, protecting peace, it will not change you. It changes everyone around you. And that's a huge thing because they realize when you can stay calm in chaos, that they can stay calm in chaos. I taught a lot of agents over my years of originating to stay calm amidst chaos, clients to take a deep breath amidst the chaos, my children and my husband. That's a skill that I didn't have 20 years ago that I've worked very hard on and now been able to emulate it for other people, right? And hopefully they catch on. When you show patience, your kids learn it, your team learns it. Other leaders see it. When you operate from peace instead of pressure, your clients feel it and they trust you more deeply. Your peace becomes contagious, if you will. And so make it contagious. Believe in that. Believe. It's not selfish, it's sacred, right? I have this gift that I can give. How many of you guys would rather give out peace over stress? I'd rather give out peace. I don't want to give out stress. That's not how I want to do it. And so think about this. When your heart is steady, the world steadies as well. When your heart is steady. And so what does protecting your peace look like each day? Ask yourself that in the morning. What does protecting my peace look like today? Not when, as soon as everything else gets done, I'll start thinking about my own peace. Sometimes it's just a big deep breath before a call. Sometimes it's taking 3 notes down. Sometimes it's knocking out a couple tasks and then standing up and doing a walk around in the office. Sometimes it's walking outside for 20 minutes and then coming back to hit the rest of the day. There are a lot of things you can do to protect your peace, but I promise you this, when you think of it as that means I'm focused on me and I don't have time to focus on me. Remember that analogy that airlines use. You've got to put your own mask on so that then you are so well equipped to help other people. And that's what happens when you have peace within yourself. You are so well equipped to not only help other people, but to feed that energy into other people. And man, what a gift that is to give away peace. We'll see you soon. If this was helpful, I hope you share the episode.